most likely being the first thing the citizens of the galaxy face when interacting with the Empire. The Stormtrooper Corps can seem like a large, daunting, and dangerous force. Which it is. But for those of you aspiring members of this branch of the Imperial military, there are a litany of specializations for you to choose from when becoming a member of one of the frontline forces of the Imperial Armada. Evolving from its predecessor of the Galactic Republic, the Imperial Stormtrooper Corps has solidified itself as a true force to be reckoned with throughout the galactic plane, facing off against the galaxy's biggest dangers for the sake of ensuring security and protection within the citizens of the Empire's territories. Being a member of the Stormtrooper Corps, you need to know where and when certain Stormtrooper specializations are needed so that they can best deal with certain situations accordingly. Of course, we need to start with the classic Stormtrooper. Stormtroopers are extremely well-rounded in terms of their versatility and adaptability. You can find these guys stationed all throughout the galaxy, donning their iconic white armour and E11 blaster rifles. They can survive in a wide variety of environments and are the go-to for frontline infantry combat, well trained and ready to fight for the Empire should the need arise. The Heavy Stormtrooper. Heavies can be found accompanying their less than stocky counterpart, specialising in operating large hard-hitting blasters such as the Z6 rotary cannon and DLT-19 heavy blaster rifle to intimidate and smash into enemy lines. In well-coordinated squads, these are certainly troopers that one should be wary of, as the weaponry they use makes most fights that they get into nothing short of a breeze for the most part. The Scout Trooper, or Biker Scouts, are the blistering blurs that make the rebels think twice. These troopers specialise in reconnaissance and surveillance on enemy activity. These are the troopers that relay information to commanders and high-ranking ground force officers, but don't be fooled by their more reserved role. These troopers are no pushover. With their speeder bikes, they can easily pick off and single out enemies with great speeds. That, combined with their knowledge of the battlefields, makes them very dangerous to go up against. I could go into some of the variations of these first three troopers, such as the Sand Trooper, the Heavy Sand Trooper, and the Sniper Trooper, but then we would be here for hours. No, instead, today I want to look at some of the unique specializations that the Imperial Trooper Corps has on offer for its members. So, let's get into it. The Shore Trooper. The Coastal Defender Stormtrooper, or Shore Trooper, is a trooper variant that specialises in defending the shorelines and coastal regions of mostly warm and tropical planets. They usually work alongside Stormtrooper squads and can be very few and far in between due to their heavy emphasis on defending coastlines. Their armour is mostly the same as Stormtroopers, offering about the same level of protection and built-in systems to regulate their physical condition. For weapons, they wield your typical E11s and so on, so not really much in the way of difference from the classic Stormtrooper. The Snowtroopers. The Cold Weather Assault Stormtrooper, or Snowtroopers, are built for the cold, utilising the armour of the Republic's 21st Nova Corps, or Galactic Marines. The Snowtroopers are able to survive, operate, and conduct warfare in the extreme freezing temperatures of some of the coldest planets in the galaxy. Their armour allows them to do this, regulating their body temperature with its insulation. They also have a number of tools to help traverse through snow and ice, such as grappling hooks, ice boots, polarised snow goggles, flare and a homing beacon in case worst comes to worst. As far as weapons go, they once again wield your standard E11s, but enjoy tearing down enemy fortifications with the use of an E-Web repeating heavy blaster cannon. Not troopers you want to get in the way of. The Death Troopers. These shadowy brutes are used to protect important Imperial personnel, willing to give their lives to ensure that higher ranking officials are safe. But that's not all. These troopers work in small squads for high profile infiltration and espionage missions. They are trained to be extremely well coordinated and will put up quite a fight when in combat. Their armour is leagues better over that of the typical Stormtrooper, allowing them to tank hits and stay hidden from enemy sensors, making them invisible, practically speaking. And thanks to their training in martial combat and marksmanship, they can very easily make an example of their opponents. Their nature as expert combatants is also reflected in their arsenal, wielding an SE-14R light repeating blaster, E11D blaster carbine, DLT-19D heavy blaster rifle, and a DLT-19 heavy blaster rifle. Very formidable. The Jump Troopers. For any rebels watching, it's important to keep your eyes on the sky, not just for starfighters, but also for these Stormtrooper variants. Equipped with jetpacks, these guys can take off and hover several feet above the ground, giving a height and observation advantage over the battlefield and its conditions. This jetpack offers extreme manoeuvrability, allowing them to clear obstacles most troopers stuck on the ground would struggle to even think about taking on. They come equipped with a standard E11, a missile launcher for inflicting devastating damage on enemy combatants, a burst shield, and an RTC-97C heavy blaster, making the Jump Trooper a versatile and highly manoeuvrable specialization of trooper that can be found in many different battle scenarios, jumping over walls, infiltrating enemy fortifications, pestering vehicles with low manoeuvrability, and all around being a pain in the sides for the rebels. The Sea Troopers. Skulking beneath the waves of oceans, rivers, lakes, and anywhere with a large volume of water, these troopers are trained in scuba diving, donning special armour that helps them to breathe underwater, and a pair of fins and underwater propulsion jets to help them easily manoeuvre through the depths without much effort, allowing them to focus on the mission at hand. They come equipped with a DCU-12U beam rifle and an OMS Devilfish, because who knew that operating underwater completely changes the dynamics of warfare as a whole. These troopers are the frontline forces of underwater combat, facing off against enemies, usually Mon Calamari, that lurk in the oceans of waterworld. They can also infiltrate bases and enemy fortifications through waterways, being quite a good pick for espionage missions as well. But before we cap off this video, let's at least look at some of the trooper specializations that at least deserve an honourable mention. The Shadow Trooper. These highly elite troopers are capable of going invisible thanks to their experimental armour, making them experts in stealth and infiltration, being able to get behind enemy lines and pick off those who are less than wary of their surroundings. The Purge Trooper, not those ones, are responsible for assisting the Inquisitorius with hunting Jedi. These troopers are extremely versatile in the weapons they utilise to combat Jedi, such as electrostaffs and batons, and heavy-hitting weapons to break through those onslaughts of lightsaber swings and force powers. The Space Troopers. These troopers come equipped with airtight armour, allowing them to survive and operate within the vacuum of space. You'll find these guys walking the halls of capital ships, stations, and any surface in a zero-G, low-oxygen environment, raiding enemy ships, fixing hull issues, and infiltrating enemy holdouts and space stations. The Shock Troopers. These troopers roam the streets of Coruscant, protecting the very home planet of the Emperor himself. Wielding their riot shields and electro batons, these troopers patrol and deal with dissent and crime throughout the different sectors of Coruscant in their distinct red armour, so you'll know when you see these guys. Finishing off, we of course have the Dark Trooper. These terrifying tyrants of the highly experimental Dark Trooper program are designed to be hard-hitting super troopers that leave nothing but rubble in their wake. First gen Dark Troopers were droid, second gen were suits worn by pilots, if you will, and now the third gen have gone back to being droids, so it's been a pretty turbulent development cycle for these guys. The third gen Dark Troopers are capable of flight, having thrusters on their feet. They can wield pretty much any variety of blaster you can think of and use it with precise accuracy. Their strength is unmatched, being able to lift, move or barge their way through any obstacle. And lastly, since they are droids, their coordination and discipline is simply unmatched. They display total obedience and will follow every order to the letter, no matter how daunting, although they're not that intelligent from what I have seen at least. So with that, I hope this video provided you at least with some insight into some of the specializations that the Imperial Trooper Corps has on offer. I know I didn't mention absolutely every trooper variant that the Empire has, but if I did, we would be here for hours. So with that, why not like, subscribe, and share this video to start your journey into the Empire today. And with that, long live the Empire, and may the Force be with you.